got some things done today, so I'm pleased to say that I can participate in the Paige and Peggy card challenge for the 15th of the month, which is today. I just finished these. I did make 5 cards, and they're all different. This month, they were supposed to be get well cards, and optional was to decorate inside. So you'll see that I decorated 3 inside, but the first 2 I did not. And the first 2, because it is the 15th and I'm running behind, of course, were from a kit, and well, sort of a kit. I'll show you. It's I got it from Paper Wishes. It's from Hunky Dory. This filigree frames. It's been here for a while, and they had two little circles here that said "Get well soon." So I used those, and 2 of the papers, and 2 of the cards, and 2 of the envelopes, and the cards have pre-printed designs on, and 2 of the filigrees. So I did not, however, decorate the insides of these. I just couldn't figure out what else I wanted to do with them. So let me see what order I did these in. Okay, this is the first one, and it's basically a background where you punch this design out of. Then the scroll work, what do they call this? Filigree frame, which has a solid white circle, and then I put the circle on top, and then just this little get well thing. And you can see the cards are already pretty. Hindsight's 2020. I think the next time I make these cards, I'm actually gonna cut the pre-made cards. I have to watch the envelope sizes, though. I may trim them down a little bit and mat them on another, maybe a purple background for this one, for example, and use this back to go inside as an inside design. So I think that's what I'm going to do the next time. But I didn't think of that in time for this time. And like I said, I was short on time. So the next one was pretty much the same thing, except that I took the filigree and I dabbed it with, I believe it was this Lulu Lavender Memento Dewdrop ink. I've been using them a lot lately. The green coming through was the paper that this punch out came on. And the background has the lilac and the green. You know, see, it's like green here with and they're like lilies. So I just sort of inked that all up and thought made it instead of white. I just didn't want the white on the filigree. And then again, the same get well soon sticker. And that's it, because the insides are not finished. I guess I could have turned them this way too and done all the filigree on the front and then had the other part inside, but again, I didn't think of that in time. So those are my first 2, and they're pretty, but they're not, I don't know, they're not, to me, they're not showing anything I can do. You know what I mean? So anyway, then the next one, I used the paper pad called Serenity. I've used this before. This is from Craftsmith. It was a hot buy at Michael's. I used this gray. I used a couple cut-aparts that were on this sheet. And I used this floral. And then I also used this piece of, it's like a lilac color cardstock, and that was in a pack from, that I got it Tuesday morning, and I don't see a name on it, so I don't even know who makes it. So anyway, it was like a multicolor pack, and that was in it. And then I also used an ink. I used 2 inks. I used this Zeal Teal and this, I believe, elderberry. Let me check real quick. Yes. Zeal Teal and Elderberry from the Dewdrops. Memento Dewdrops. Okay, so that card is this. And I used a pre-made Love Nicole A7, I think they are. Hang on. A7 card, an envelope. So what I used is the floral piece of paper in the background. Then I did 2 ovals, and these are spellbinders. I probably put them away already. One sec. Yeah, I did. Sorry. But they're spellbinders, like a fancy oval. These 2 flowers that are popped up, I used, there was one of the cut-aparts that I'd already cut some flowers out of, and I believe I used that on a tag for Elemental Designs. So these leaves are not popped up, but they're from the cut-apart. This flower and this flower I did bump up on dimensionals. And then this Sending You Loads of Well Wishes is, I'm kind of a little bit disorganized. Hang on. There we go. It was from Honeybee Stamps, and it was these. Here's the Sending You Well and Wishes and Loads of is right there. So I really like these stamps because they stamped really well, but also there's so many things you can use them for. Like there is a Get Well here, which I believe I also use Get Well and Soon up here. And that's on the inside. So let me go to there. Anyway, I actually just stamped them out on the gray background paper, which is sort of a gray with a little pink in it. But then I didn't know how I wanted to get them onto the card, so I just cut this and made it into like a banner. I had exactly 4 of these blings left on a sheet in my use it up drawer, so I put 2 in each upper and lower corner, and then I just corner rounded this Loads of and Well Wishes. And then inside, this was another cut apart out of the paper, and I just put Get Well Soon, but that time I used the dark purple. And that got a little bit wonky, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it stamped good. It just, I thought I had it on the thing good, and it sort of pulled up a little bit, so it's a little bit crooked. But anyway, I can't seem to get anything straight. You know me. So then the next one I made was a little different, and I don't know, I'm not real happy with it, but it is what it is. And it's this one. It says, being sick is perfectly awful. And it's got the little kitty prints. The kitty cat I messed up on. I made his paws too dark, and then I put gray stripes on him. He looks okay. But anyway, and I put him on an extra doily paper shaper thing that I had left over from the card I worked on yesterday. Down here's the little mousey. But I wasn't happy how that stamped, so I put glaze pen on, but I see that it sort of ran a little bit. Anyway, and then there was a stamp that had a ball of yarn, but I decided to hot glue some yarn on it. So that's my decoration inside, and it says Get Well Soon. That stamp set, hi kitty, my kitty came out to say hello. Yeah, we're talking about kitties. Is from Little Acres Creations. It was this kitty, Being Sick is Perfectly Awful, and Get Well Soon, and the paw prints, and the ball yarn, and the mouse. So really cute stamp set. So that's that one. I thought it was a cute idea. I think it needs something else in the background, but I don't know what. I'll figure it out. And it may be too late. I may just have to make another one. I'll use it for somebody that likes kitties when they're ill. Okay, so the last one I did, which is still a little damp, but was this one. And on this one, which I have to hold open a little bit, I used a couple different things. I used Oh, hang on, I'm having trouble getting a hold of them. Because everything's sticking. Okay, I used, for the sentiments, I used these Stampabilities clear stamps. I really like this set because it's got a lot of different sentiment possibilities also. And it's sort of a, to me it's a young looking print. I don't know how to explain it any other way. So I used that. I also used the background flowers on the deck from Bear, which is from Michaels, and the background stencil, excuse me. Then I also used this butterfly and this round thing. And what I did is I used a combination with the stencil of the, oh, and one more thing, I did also use this medium die in here from Artsy, and this is called, I don't know what it's called, but it looks like this. It says live life, thinking of you, hello, thanks for everything, and it's got a bird and a little flower. But I only used the medium die in it to do this front banner. Okay, so what I did in the background is I used these spongy things, wedges, makeup wedges, and I started with Spun Sugar Distress ink, but I decided that my little ink pad needs a refill because it wasn't doing real well with the pink. So then I pulled out an orange one, and I already put them away, so I'm not sure what the bright orange is, and I went over where I hadn't done the pink. And then I also brought in a little bit of a yellow, which I don't remember what the name of it was. So when I pulled it off, I was like, too many white spots. Didn't like how much orange, it was too orange. So then I pulled out this Distress Stain in Spun Sugar, and I went over the whole thing. Instead of spraying it with water, and I think some of those were, no, those were all Distress Inks. I don't think I used the oxides. So then I thought, okay, well now what? I had to let it dry. So I played around with different colors of hearts. I cut out a pink one, and I just thought, too much pink. And I played around with having a different piece of paper across here with the band, and nothing was working for me. So I got out a piece of cream colored cardstock, which was from that same pack of Tuesday morning paper, all different colors. But I put the Spun Sugar over it a little bit to soften it, make it blend a little better with the background. Then I have this ribbon, which I don't know if I got this at Walmart for 75 cents or if I got this at I guess I did. I must have. Yeah, I think I got this at a Walmart that my mom used to go to on sale for 75 cents a while back. And then here's the banner piece from Artsy, and I used the Get Well Soon stamps, and I did use the Memento Dewdrop Rosebud, but the G didn't quite get right, and I didn't use my Stamp Perfect thingy, so I got out my glaze pens in pinky purple and went over all the Get Well Soon. And then in the background I did use the Rosebud for the butterflies. I used a yellow dandelion for these two circles, and behind the heart I had used Pear Tart in Memento. So there's a tiny little bit of green showing through, but not much because I wasn't liking that. And I was gonna go around the edges, and I thought, nah, I'll just leave it as it is. So inside, all I did, since I already said Get Well Soon, I had another pink. This was a solid pink. What do you call them? Doily, small doily. I stamped the butterfly again, and then I had a little bit of extra orange on my spongy thing, so I just went over the wings a little bit in that, and over the medallion, and then for the body of the butterfly I again used a glaze pen. So that's it. Those are my 5 Get Well cards. I hope you liked them. If you did, any of them, give me a thumbs up. It takes me a while to get started on these things, and I'm not the best stamper. I'm learning, but I really like using die cuts more than I do stamping. But I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. I'm getting a little more confident with it. So anyway, let me know what you think, guys, and we will see you next time. I think the next one is, see, we're in June 30th, which will be Christmas, and we're supposed to do optional fancy folder shape with that. So yeah, that's that should be interesting, and I do plan on trying to make those. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.